Okay, perfect. Well, welcome. Good morning, Peel fam. Thank you so much for being in here. We have such an amazing treat for you guys today for Hindu Heritage Month in honor and recognition and celebration. Without further ado, we're going to get into the land acknowledgement, please. The land upon which we work, live, and sustain ourselves is the ancestral and treaty lands of the Michi-Saugig Anishinaabeg, also known today as the Mississaugas of the Credit, the rightful caretakers and title holders of this land. We also recognize the rich pre-contact history and relationships, which include the Anishinaabe and the Onwe-Hone. Since European contact, this land continues to be home to Indigenous and non-Indigenous peoples. As responsible community members, we value the diversity, dignity, and worth of all people. Colonialism displaced and dispossessed Indigenous peoples of their ancestral lands and continues to deny their basic human rights, dignities, and freedoms. We are committed to learning true history to reconcile, make reparations, and fulfill our treaty obligations to the original peoples and our collective responsibilities to the land, water, animals, and each other for future generations. Peel fam, I would like to encourage you all to take a moment and really be intentional with how this land acknowledgement compels you to take action. Us even being in this shared space and in this learning environment right now, that's our privilege. So we do hold a lot of power and privilege. So I encourage all of you to take a moment and really think about like how can you utilize your power and your privilege in whatever capacity that is for you to make sure that the shared space that we're all in right now is more equitable and inclusive. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna let our amazing North Park Secondary grade 10 students, Arna and Anushka, introduce our awesome, extremely inspiring and super intelligent guest today, Spitty.
Good morning, PDSB and staff and students. My name is Arna.
My name is Anushka, and we are live at North Park Secondary Schools. Please excuse any bells that play in the background.
We are pleased to have Brampton's rapper Spitty with us today.
Spitty is an Indian rapper from Brampton, Ontario. His music has been creating an enormous buzz with youngsters and teenagers with a fusion of South Asian and Western music. Spitty is influencing a unique production of hip-hop and rap.
His debut album, First Circle, was a great success, receiving compliments and recognition from Rolling Stone India and Much Music Canada.
Spitty also curated and headlined his Full House Toronto concert and performed dozens of times in the area before heading off for a 6-week USA tour in 2022.
With a follow-up, he came back with a 22-show Full Circle tour covering several cities in the USA and Canada. This included Canadian Music Week, Daisy Fest at Yonge Dundas Square, Launch Music Festival, Brampton Canada Day with Cardinal Opshall, and much more.
Welcome to North Park Secondary School, Spitty. How are you today?
I appreciate the intro. Thank you. I'm doing very well. How are you guys?
We're doing well.
Yeah, thank you for asking.
I heard you went to North Park as a student. Is that true?
Yeah, that's true. I went to North Park, some years back. So it's like a really big full circle moment to be back here. Having you guys interview me, it kind of feels like a surreal experience.
What year did you graduate?
I graduated back in 2013, so it's been a full 10 years. Low-key, I was trying to do like my high school reunion this year, but that kind of fell through. So if you're class of 2013, look out for that. Might do that next year.
So to begin with, your name's Spitty. It's really unique. So how did you come up with it?
Yeah, I always get this question, to be honest, and I think because it's unique, people want to ask it. I would say there's a few different layers to it. On the surface level, I started rapping when I was in North Park, when I was in grade 11. And I don't know about how it is now, but when I was in high school, in every Brampton or Peel high school, there was people trying to be something in the arts. You had somebody trying to be a singer or a YouTuber or a TikToker or a dancer or a rapper. So I just wanted a name that when people heard it, they really knew I was trying to be a rapper and none of those other things. And Spitty in terms of rap is you spit bars, you spit fire, you're spitting fast. It just means you're good at rapping or you're really about rapping. So that's kind of where I came up with it on the surface level. And on top of that, a lot of my favorite rappers growing up kind of had names like that. You have Biggie and you have 50 Cent, you have Drizzy Drake and Wheezy and Yeezy and Jeezy. So I was I just gotta fit that category of rappers I love and look up to. So I named myself Spitty. But then over time, I think, meanings kind of develop. And for me, my music style and what I was about kind of developed. And something I realized after time, you guys ever heard about 23andMe, those ancestry tests? No? It was like one of those tests you can do online, like that tells you like what all your history is, like where you're from in the world. And apparently to do it, all you have to do is like they send you a vial and you put your spit into a vial and you send that back because your whole DNA is contained in your spit. So for me now, it's like when my name's Spitty, it's because like music, hip hop, all of that, it's in my DNA.
That it started out as like really simple, and then I find it really cool how it came to have like a deeper meaning to you over time. As you said, you were inspired by a lot of rappers, and most people are inspired by a special person or event to pursue their dreams. So who or what specifically like ignited that in you? Like, I want to be a rapper.
Yeah, that's interesting that you said person or event. I'll give you two different stories actually, because normally when people ask me that question, I think about the first time I started listening to rap, which is when I was a little kid, like 6, 7 years old. I explicitly remember we used to have just like basic cable, like channels up to like 25, you know, like YTV and stuff. And then we switched to Bell satellite dish and we got like all the channels, you know. My cousins came over one time and they're like, we got to put you onto this channel called BET, that's Black Entertainment Television. And they used to play all the music videos. So we were like late night. For us, late night's like, 10 p.m. when you're like 7 years old. So I was like up late, like watching these music videos. And I remember seeing this artist, 50 Cent, he has this music video in the club. And it's like, it's a party and like, it's just like really catchy and it's like a fun vibe. And I was like, yo, this seems like a lot of fun and like a great experience, you know? And I want to kind of create that for other people. And then I heard this song from this guy, Nas, like right after that. And he has a song called I Know I Can. And the chorus is literally sung by kids. It's like, I know I can be what I want to be. If I work hard at it, I'll be where I want to be. And it's just like he's singing to kids and the chorus is sung by kids. And I was like a kid. I was 7 years old. So I felt like super motivated. Like I really can be what I want to be. And when you're a kid, you have those dreams of like, I want to be an astronaut or a firefighter or like the world's best basketball player. Like I was like, I want to be a rapper. Like that was what I wanted to do since a kid because I loved the ability to express myself through words and like tell stories and also like that fun feeling and energy it created. So I would say that really sparked my rapper journey. But then in high school, I think in the 10th grade, there was a growing like South Asian music scene in Brampton and in Toronto. And this artist, Humble the Poet, who now works with like Superwoman or Lily Singh, through this event in, I think, Mississauga, like in some warehouse. And me and my friends, when we were like 15, it was like our first concert we ever went to. And a lot of up and coming at the time local artists were there, like Fateh and Noise and B Magic and Humble the Poet and Just Rain and AK Amazing were like the hosts of the event. So it was like this huge like community event for everyone who was kind of like trying to get into the space or was like supporting the scene. And I think that really inspired me because I never saw anything like it with so many people who looked like me who were doing this thing in this hip hop scene that was really new for brown people at the time. So seeing them up there really showed me that like I could do it, and that's what like sparked it. So it still took a year or two to really get into it, but that was grade 10, and then grade 11 I finally like bought a mic and started rapping myself.
Yeah, it's actually really motivational because music kind of directs people into what they want to pursue and inspires them to actually, have a career. So that's actually really inspirational. And you said that you listen to a lot of other rappers in like the Western culture and raising up in a South Asian household. I think Bollywood or other South Asian, singers and musical artists were also a really big inspiration. So who do you think you listen to a lot or prefer just to listen to?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think for me, and I want to say it's changed in Brampton and Mississauga and everything. Maybe it hasn't. Maybe people can tell me. But like when I was young, it wasn't as cool to like rep your culture, And like the worst part is like people who were kind of born here, who grew up here first, they would bully people who like came here after and call them like fobs and stuff, And so there was like this internal hatred on people's own culture, and so it made a lot of us not represent like Indian culture or Hindu culture or Bollywood and stuff, and cling more to what was popular here. And at the time, like rap was really growing, It still wasn't the mainstream. It was still kind of like cooler because it was like, it was the stuff you weren't supposed to listen to because of like all the swearing and like the bad references and stuff. But like I found a lot of like motivation in that too. And like, that's what a lot of us kind of gravitated towards too more. So that's why I would say hip hop really inspired me when I was a kid. And it took a long time to like kind of come full circle and be like, oh yeah, like I do love all this Indian music and want to incorporate that into my music and incorporate my heritage into my music. And it's actually funny because the first song I ever made when I was in high school, it's a song called Feasting. You could like maybe look it up, like it's still somewhere hidden on YouTube, but it's really bad. And I didn't even take this in, but it samples a Bollywood record. And I only realized that years later. And now that I think about it, I'm sure like subconsciously, like I knew that I really was attracted to this melody and stuff because like I'd been hearing it so much, and sometimes you don't even realize like what you like until you like really think about it and become more self-aware. So it took a lot of growth to be like, yo, like I am proud of where I come from and my culture, my heritage, and I want to incorporate that. And once I did, I also started realizing like a lot of my favorite songs from the 2000s, produced by Kanye and Timbaland and Just Blaze, they were incorporating Indian samples and sounds and stuff without really even having been to India or knowing Indian people. So like for me, it's like I can actually bring that sort of like authentic flavor into the game and mix the two worlds. And now if you go to India and you'll see like hip hop's booming, you know, it's like the main genre and everyone loves hip hop there. So now I listen to a lot of people from here and there. You know, some people from India, for example, like Divine and Krishna, and some people that are from here that are like from there, you know, like Shub or like Garn Aujla and stuff. It's like both worlds are all like mixing, you know, and like there's a lot of English and Hindi and Punjabi all mixing together. So it's a perfect time to really make music in that space.
That was really cool how you later learned in life that you could incorporate it with that authenticity. You're talking about how you incorporated your culture, but religion is also a part of our identity, right? So how do you incorporate being a Hindu into your music?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I don't know if they can see it on the shirt, but my real name's Lankish. I don't know. I don't always tell people that, but I go by Spitty because it's just like easier to figure out. But Lankish is actually a god, and it's a little bit of a confusing story. So my dad, we're Hindus, but my dad isn't so religious, and so he picked the name Lankish, which is technically in Hinduism like Ravan, which is like not the main god or not the nice god, you know, in the best ways of putting it. He has his own traits, I would say. Like there are some redeeming qualities, but like depending on which side of the story you hear from, maybe he's the enemy and the bad guy. And so it gave me this like kind of skewed perspective on religion, and I never saw it from the inside, and I felt like I always saw it from like the outside looking in, you know? And it took me a while to like find things in the religion that made sense to me, you know? I think nowadays with any religion, like they've sort of evolved over time too, like just to connect to the modern world and the modern audience. And so for me, like because I didn't grow up in it as much, it was sort of like other parts of the Hindu culture and heritage where I grew into it more as I grew up, you know, and started reading about it like after and like learning about it because I heard a lot of these things from my grandma's stories and stuff, but sometimes until you do your not your own research, but like really find your own interest in something, like it doesn't really resonate with you, you know? So once I started looking into the stories and thinking about things and realizing the spirituality and the symbolism and like how what you read and what you kind of focus on can even like manifest into your reality, it helped me think of religion in a more like positive way, I would say. And to bring it back, sorry, full circle to this shirt, is like I wanted to incorporate my heritage and my name. This is like my merch for Spitty, but I put my real face. So he has like 10 arms and 10 heads. That's like his like iconic look. And I wanted to like mix that into my music to say like, yo, this is the culture, the religion that I'm from, and I want to like sort of incorporate it into my brand.
That's really good that you're trying to incorporate, like you weren't able to know much about your religion, but now since you've gotten older, you're incorporating, which is actually really good because not many people know about their religion or just kind of exclude it and they don't really pay much attention to it, even though it's a really big part of your own identity.
Yeah.
So you said that you started learning, like wanted to pursue your career in music in grade 11. So coming from a South Asian background, it's more like, oh, you can only be a lawyer or like a doctor. So you have like really limited choices. So how did you break the news to your parents and how did they react to it?
Yeah, I didn't break the news. That's kind of the key thing is like I never was like explicitly like, mom and dad, it's time, I'm about to become a rapper. What happened is like when I first discovered rap when I was a little kid, like I wanted to rap, and it just took so many years to finally do it because I was really anxious as a kid and I didn't have the courage to like just go out and like finally try. And once I saw other people doing it, even then it took me a lot of time to build up my own courage, but then I finally did it. And I just did it like with my friends and like through school, but it wasn't something that I was like bringing home to my family or telling my parents or like my family friends or cousins about, you know. I kind of kept it hidden from all of them because I was still shy and anxious and nervous and like scared, you know. And luckily through North Park, I think in grade 11, we went on this like field trip for like financial literacy. And I'm not exactly sure who was running it, but TD had like a contest through that, and they were like, make a video about financial literacy and then you can win some prizes. So me and my two friends from North Park, Mohammed and Nisar, we made this like rap video about money, and it was like kind of funny about like saving your money and stuff. and we actually ended up winning third place, and we got like $500 each, and they drove us like from North Park. We took like taxis downtown for the whole day, like got to skip class and just like do this award ceremony. And then my parents were like, oh, this guy like made some money from music, you know? And then the next year in grade 12, I actually kind of did that more. I entered like 3 or 4 more contests, and I started winning like second place here, third place here, first place here. Even one from the Children's Mental Health Association of Ontario, where it was like for the whole for the whole of Ontario, and I won like $1,200, I think. I never saw any of this money also. I never had a bank account, so my parents just put it into my tuition. So for them, they saw it as like funding my, my doctor, lawyer career. For me, it was computer science. I went to Western University for computer science. So that's the thing, is I did both. I even though I was making money through music when I was still in high school, my parents knew I was gonna go to uni, and I knew I was gonna go to uni because I wasn't like viral or like successful or anything yet. So I still needed to make money or figure out a way to live, right? So I went to Western. I did both. I did school and music. Graduated, was still doing both. Came home, was working and doing both. And then the pandemic hit, and then I was like really home, and like my parents really saw like where my focus was on music versus my work. And also over this time, I started to build momentum, started to make money from shows and selling merch and different things, started to have like a real fan base. And then last year I finally was like, I built up enough momentum and savings where it's like, now I'm actually stable on my own. So now it's like, when I come to my parents, it's not like I'm trying to rely on them for money or anything. It's just like me saying like, hey, like, I've grown up, I've done all these things. You can see all the accolades and the work I've put in. And so I'm about to quit my job and just go all in on music. And then from there, because it's been so long, they were like, yeah, we already see like where your focus is, so you gotta just try it, like go for it, So luckily my parents were supportive like that. But I think the key was showing them that I was really serious by putting in the work. I think a lot of brown parents, South Asian parents, they focus less on the feelings sometimes and more on the results, And one thing that they do really like though is like there's like this phrase about like what would other people say, but that phrase gets flipped when the other people are saying good things, like when the uncles and aunties are saying like dun, 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 dun. Is there gonna be another one? No. Okay, when the uncles and aunties are saying oh, like your son's rapping, like that's so cool and stuff, then it's like, oh, now it's something to be proud of and not like ashamed about,
It's really cool that your parents are supportive, and I hope like a lot of other aspiring South Asian musicians or performance artists get that same support. Would you mind performing something for us while you're still
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's do it. Let's do this. Pull up the music. This song's called Room for Improvement. It's off my debut album, Full Circle. You can find it on all platforms. Spitty, and it features another Brampton artist. Her name's Marie. She's a singer, producer, songwriter, and yeah, it goes like this. Put my heart and soul in this game and got nothing. Yeah, life is the game and it's rigged like the oil. Listen, I put my heart and soul in this game and got nothing. Chasing after carrots, but my stomach's still rumbling. Life is the game, but it's rigged like the oil. It's always get the money, but the money ain't loyal. Saw my parents pinch pennies to lose it all regardless. Taught me live today, cause tomorrow ain't promised. All my neighbors get robbed by people we know. It's hard to tell the difference from a friend and a foe. So I'll probably burn out, soul gone to the next. Wondering how fast can I push it before death. Saw success for myself, a lot of wealth I'll amass. Hope I got a bright future, cause I got a dark past. Yo, dedicated to my craft overly slow. I've been warming up, everybody says I blow. In my heart, know I got room for improvement. I'ma go prove it till the road's booming. I ain't staying forever, catching up the stars. I'ma keep getting better. I'm going way up, way up, way up, way up. Yeah, keep my bags packed. I ain't staying forever, catching up the stars. I'ma keep getting better. I'm going way up, way up. Way up, way up. Yeah, that's a little snippet right there. Room for improvement. Jeez. Hope y'all like that. And now back to the interview.
That was really good.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
So that was really good.
Thank you.
As you said, a lot of people made fun of people who immigrated
Mm.
when we were like people who were born here made fun of people who were immigrated.
Yeah.
But there is like mostly at that time, it was 10 years ago, right? So there would have been a lot less brown people than there are now. So what barriers did you face as like a South Asian rapper?
Yeah, that's a good question. There's the other bell. I think a big part of it was like I was saying earlier, I never saw like people who were like me doing it on like a big scale. So you don't always have like the blueprint or the guide on like what I should be doing to achieve the success I want, you know? And a lot of times people in their communities, they support each other, you know, in all sorts of communities around the world. And if you have people who are in the music scene that are from your community, then maybe they can offer you connections and sort of support you. That's how like people have like internal industry connections and stuff like that. And so for a lot of brown people, I think, at least in the Western world, we had to like make those connections on our own and really do the groundwork and enter the industry and infrastructure to then be that for the next generation, you know? So even I wasn't like the first wave, but I think that was kind of it, as we were all just trying to figure it out and navigate it. So for me, I was just doing what a lot of other artists do. And I wasn't doing anything specifically special as like a brown or South Asian artist versus any other type of artist because I didn't know any better, you know? So just trying to make our music and put it up on YouTube and SoundCloud and Spotify and stuff and just pushing it like that and trying to go viral. And luckily, I would say being in Brampton, like, yeah, it's mostly brown people, but it is still really diverse, you know? And so, like I was saying, like, it wasn't just brown people that were like rejecting their culture. Honestly, it was all sorts of people. I had neighbors that were Guyanese and Portuguese and Vietnamese, and like everyone was sort of just almost assimilating into this like Canadian culture, like whatever. And so all of us were kind of gravitated towards hip hop. So I never really even saw myself differently from them. And that's like a big thing that's I think's changed in society over time is like acknowledging our diversity. And back then, I think I just saw myself as just a guy from Brampton rapping. Like I never even thought about how being Indian or South Asian could actually be a benefit because of it being unique or it being my identity. You know, I never even approached rap like that. I just always thought like I'm trying to be a rapper like 50 and Kanye and Kid Cudi. You know, I didn't really think about like I'm trying to be the Gujarati rapper, the Indian rapper, or anything like that. Like those thoughts kind of came after. I think, as I was saying earlier, as I became more self-aware, and I think just in life, once you start something, or just in life as you're going, like you grow and you figure out like what your purpose is and what you actually want to do and what gives you value in the things you create.
Yeah, that's really true. So over the time, you've been in the music field for like quite a long time, since like grade 11.
Yeah.
So how do you think your goals as a rapper have changed over time?
Yeah, exactly. So I think they changed immensely, you know? I think when I started, I really just wanted to rap. Like I wanted to be a cool rapper and like get famous and do shows. And I would say like, sure, those parts of it are still there, but I see the value in the actual music I'm making now and the impact it can have on people, you know? When I first started though, I did have those ideas in mind because a lot of the rap I liked was that inspirational stuff, like that Nas song, like, no, I can't be what I wanna be. Like I was trying to make music like that too, but I was also trying to make fun music. So literally when I started, I used to do this thing where I would make a song every week, a song or a video every week, and I would post it on YouTube and spam all my friends on like Facebook and Instagram. And the way I did it was every week I would try to tackle one of three topics. So one was just rapping, having fun, like good wordplay and like fun bouncy tracks. The second was like motivational, inspirational stuff that like that Nas song that can really like help people and inspire people. And then the third was like to tackle some sort of like world topic, like some sort of deeper topic or some sort of personal story and like have the song have a deeper message. And every week I would kind of go through one of those topics. And I think over time, the best thing I did is I sort of took all three of those things and made that my full brand. And now in each song, I try to have all three of those elements, you know, like a deeper message, some sort of motivating and inspiring theme, and then like good wordplay and still make it a fun, catchy song. You know, I try to like take those three aspects and make that my entire brand. And that's what I want to do with music is like my goals now are really to motivate and inspire people, spread knowledge, spread positivity, and just create music. Because for me, when I was a kid, especially like in you know, like grade school and middle school and stuff, when you're just like going through things, it's like it was an outlet and it was a way to feel good when like the life around me wasn't feeling good. And it was like an escape, you know? And it was also a motivator, like to help me keep going and be a better version of myself. And I want my music to do the same thing, like motivate people, have them be a better version of themselves and be that outlet or escape for when their reality isn't the best. You know, you can always go to your soundtrack to kind of ease you through it or help you through it.
Yeah, I think that's a really important thing that that music does for people, is like an escape from reality. Um,
For real.
there are a lot of talented artists around the world. Is there anyone do you have in mind that you want to collaborate with?
I want to collaborate with? There's a lot. Like definitely a lot of the rappers that I've grown up looking up to, like J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Denzel Curry, Russ. But more so, I really want to work with singers because I think when rappers get on the same track, it's more of like a competition, like who had the better verse, you know? But when you get a singer on the track, that's what can really like bring it all together, you know? So some singers I'd really want to work with are like The Weeknd, or like Ty Dolla $ign, or like Nav. He's kind of a singer, right? He's a brown boy, first brown boy to get it poppin', so we got to get a track together, you know? Those would be some off the top of the head.
That's a really good list.
Talking about collaboration with other artists, what like projects are you currently working on?
Yeah, that's a great question actually, because it's Hindu Heritage Month and stuff. In Canada, you can get grants from like different levels of government. That's the good thing about Canada is they support their art system on various levels. And I was lucky enough to apply for some grants. And last year I got one from the Canada Arts Council for a South Asian collaborative album. So that's what I'm working on right now. It's basically gonna be a bunch of different artists, predominantly from South Asian background. And we're incorporating like different languages, different genres. So it's not just gonna be hip hop. It'll mainly be hip hop because that's what I do. But like it's gonna have like all sorts of different vibes. And people from mainly Canada, but all around the world. I have people from India, people from America, people from the UK all working on this project. So I'm kind of like on each song, but I'm also like curating the whole thing. And I think that's gonna be like a really good project for the community. And we have some funding behind it. So hopefully it gets pushed a lot and that'll come out next year. And actually next week, I'm literally going to India for 2 months to work on some of that music and then meet some more artists and to shoot a lot of the video content for that project. So it'll be really like on theme, you know? So look out for that.
Yeah, well, look forward to listening to the album.
So that sounds like when it's going to be a big success, that'll be a really big accomplishment for you. You'll feel really proud of it. But what accomplishments have you made so far that you're like really proud of?
Yeah, that's a good question. And yeah, that album when it drops will for sure be a great accomplishment because about everything we've been talking about, I think it'll really kind of unify the community and put us on. But so far, I would say like since I quit my job last year, like honestly, a lot of great blessings have come in. Even this, like talking to the Peel District School Board from the high school I went to is like unreal, you know? Like that's like a legendary moment. And I think a lot of people, I don't know, once you guys graduate high school, maybe you'll think like too, like damn, that's pretty cool to come back to your high school and have people like want to listen to you from there. I don't know if you're listening. But other than that, like over the last year, a lot of cool stuff has happened. So I'm from Brampton, like that's where I grew up and was pretty much raised. And last year I became a Brampton Artist Ambassador, along with people like Rupi Kaur and Director X and Havaya Mighty. And we're basically all artists who were selected by the city of Brampton to represent for the city because that's something we already do and they just wanted to acknowledge that. So that was pretty cool. And so through that, I now host like free open mics with the city every month, and they're free for the community, free to show up, free to perform. And that's something I'm proud of because that kind of just aligns with everything I'm trying to do in terms of giving people the opportunity to perform or gain experience and have an outlet and like supporting the community, you know? You guys are asking like how my goals have changed over time. And I think initially I was very focused on myself, but now over time too, I'm more focused on like the community as a whole and supporting people around me, you know? So that's a big accomplishment. And then I've gotten to a lot of like publications this year. I got into Complex Canada this year because of those open mics. I got into Rolling Stone India, like you guys mentioned, for my song Not For Me, which I might do later. And I also got into ET Canada for being one of 15 Asian Canadian artists to watch this year, which was like probably the best one. That was a really cool like headline to read. So getting those accolades just feels good because it sort of solidifies or verifies like the stuff you've already been doing and you already know that you're doing, but it feels good to hear from like an official source, you know?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, being top 15 for something is a really big accomplishment. So
yeah. And there were some good other names on there, like AP Dillon and stuff. So it was like, I was definitely like at the bottom of the 15, you know, but it felt good to be on the 15.
Yeah, being compared to someone like really successful is a really big deal.
Yeah.
So there's so many South Asian Canadians that are willing to pursue a field or career in performance arts. So what tips or advice do you have for them?
Yeah, for someone just starting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think first off, you can message me. Like that's probably the first thing you can do is like send me your song or video or whatever, and like I'll try to offer some feedback or support. Because I think when I was starting out, like that's something I didn't really focus on, was having people around me like listen to my music and give me feedback. I think because I was so anxious too, it felt easier to just be at home and like click upload onto YouTube or whatever, versus like being in person and being like, yo, friend, like, what do you think of this song? Like that felt like a lot harder to share. So I wish like in hindsight, like I got more feedback, because I think it would have sped up my process of getting better, you know? So if you don't have that kind of person or like that circle around you, you know, just send me a message on like Instagram or something, Spitty95, and I'll definitely like check it out. I reply to all my DMs no matter how long it takes me. So I'll definitely check it out and reply and try to offer some feedback, you know, and help you grow. I think that's the first kind of step. That step is for anybody. It doesn't have to be South Asian or anyone, right? Like that'll just apply to anybody. But I think for South Asian people, lean into your identity, but that identity doesn't have to be entirely like related to South Asian or Hindu things. It can just be who you are, you know, because like people are gonna relate to you just based on what you do. You know, that's something I realized over time. Like if you're Indian and you like, I don't know, play tennis or something, right? But you wanna make music, then somehow like incorporate that tennis into your content, because there's probably not that many people that are Indian who play tennis who also are rapping, you know? So now you're just like this one guy, and now there's gonna be this whole niche of people who play tennis who wanna watch you, this niche of brown people who wanna rap, who wanna watch you, and then this like super specific niche of people who play tennis and like rap and they're brown, and they're gonna love you. Like they're gonna be like your greatest fans. And that sounds like a really specific niche, but the world's so big, right? There's probably like 1 million people that play tennis, listen to rap, and are brown, especially because India is like the most populated country in the world. So we have an advantage right there. So I think lean into those things, and whatever they are, like make content out of it, you know, incorporate those into your videos, and then also just showcase your identity. And then people will relate, because people relate to the people that look like them, you know, just by nature. Like I used to promote my music really heavily just locally, because that's what made sense to me. And then during the pandemic, I started pushing it online, and I built a fan base in South Asia because they like relate to me because they look like me, you know? And so now 20% of my Instagram following is from India. Like that's why I'm going next week, you know, to connect with a lot of these people for the first time in person. And so it's like, it seems like a, I don't know, like a random, like arbitrary thing to like relate to someone just because they look like you, but it does mean a lot.
Yeah, that's really good to have like a strong support system. It's really nice of you to kind of help out the aspiring performance art people that want to go into that career field.
For sure. Yeah, I feel like I didn't always have that myself, and I wish I did. So like just trying to offer those same resources and support to people could really help, you know?
Yeah, that's a really helpful resource. And I know we've like loaded you with a bunch of questions, but we aren't done yet.
Okay.
Before we move on to our next thing, could you perform another song for us?
Can I perform another song? All right. That's a good question. Yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. So this, I was just referencing it earlier. The song's called Not For Me. This song actually is the full story, or sort of like song about me leaving the tech world to make music and go for it all. The chorus is basically, everybody says, get a job, get a grip, settle down. That's not for me. Let's do this. Ba 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 ba. Yeah, that's not for me. 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 3, 2, 1, go. Everybody say get job, get grit, settle down. That's not for me. I went my way. I took that leap, stood on that desk, burnt that degree. For the flex, to the checks, to the chains, to the not me. I get that for free. You know we up big now. You know we run things now. I was 16, big dreams. We would hit McD's, 8 deep in the Odyssey, way before the death, stress, loss, depression. I said ain't no maybe. I'ma make it honestly. I'm a way to take the monopolies. Politics they bother me. Ain't nothing that's stopping me. I'm independent, no clogging me. I was doing school and work to prove my worth. Now I bring the kids sick of the monotony, snooze it. Yeah. Want me to switch, but I can't do it. Yeah. Want me to switch, but I can't do it. No way. I paved my lane, now it's a movement. We keep it moving, yeah. Everybody say get job, get grit, settle down. That's not for me, I went my way. I took that lead, stood on that desk, burnt that degree. Got do for the flex, for the checks, for the chains, for the not me, I get that for free. You know we up big now. You know we run things now. Yeah, that song's not for me. A little snippet right there. You can check that out. All my music really on Spotify, Apple, all that stuff. SPITTY. And on Instagram, like I was saying, SPITTY95. Hit me up. I'll help you out for sure. And back to the interview. Oh snap! They busted out a hat. Can they see that? I don't know.
Yeah, that was really. Okay. Yeah, sorry. That was really good.
Thank you.
That's really confident. So, Speedy, do you like games?
Sure. I love games.
So we have a little game prepared for you.
Okay.
So inside our wonderful hat, there are pieces of paper, and they all have a different word on them. You're going to pick one out, and you're going to freestyle on that topic.
Okay.
We've chosen some really hard words.
Okay.
You think you can do it?
Are they actually really hard?
No, you depends on how you think it will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I could do it. Can I play some music? Does that work?
Sure.
All right. Let's see what I got here. Do I have music? Maybe not. All right, what is acapella? Okay, do I gotta pick it or you gotta pick it? Okay. All right, ready? Okay, it's not even an English word. The word is laddu. Should I just start?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, check it. Yo, yeah, A, Spitty 9-5 at North Park, we come through. Getting real fine, I'm sweet just like a laddu. Yeah, you know I'm ballin', keep it all round. You know I'm going through up in that B-town. I hold it down, getting words out the hat. Yeah, you see me, I'm moving so flat. Yeah, you know me, I'm representing the nation. Gotta go hard, never go on vacation. Vacation, look at me, I'm staying. The flows keep going, represent, I'm greatest. No vacation, I'm going to India to keep playing, keep on working. You know me, I gotta go from the dirt and we come through, represent from the moon to the earth. Yes, holy, this one's really long. You know I gotta keep going, the flowing. I ball like DeMar DeRozan, Akaya Lowry. You can't see me. We don't even do no dowries. It's modern day, it's equality. This word's so crazy. Okay, let me say it. I gotta keep going. The flows are stimulating. When you hear my raps, you get discombobulated. Look at me, I'm on this time. It's just amazing. I'm so amazing. They get lost in these mazes. Yes, check out my fragrance, smelling so fresh. You know I do this straight fresh to death. Every day we come in, flowing on the top. Yeah, you know I go, I'm hitting up out the rock. I never really pass the ball. I'm like Kobe. You see me, I got the flow, it's so slowly. They got me, I'm like the Wizard of Oz. Yeah, you know me. Where is Dorothy? Dorothy, I don't know. The Timbos, the Tito's, the flow go no way. The next word is milkshake. Yes, you see me, I make the earthquake. When I come through, I got the cake baked. Cause I'm so sweet like laddu. That's a throwback to the first word. Yes, sir. There's no more words, that's just a tag. So I got the hat. Yeah, we got the swag. Look at me, I come through in my bag. Red denim jacket, you know I come through. I always stay snapping like the flow is. My name's Spitty, you know I move heroic. Chilling with Arna and Anushka. Yeah, you know I come through. Chilling on your computers, watching me live and direct. SPITTY, you know I come through. The boy is up next. Yes.
That was really cool. I thought discombobulated would have stumped you for sure.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Laddu threw me off the most, actually. I didn't know that word was gonna be in there. That's funny. I just ate one yesterday too. That's ironic.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Like on the spot, you just
Yeah,
like,
on the
complete
spot. I didn't see these
spot.
words before. You know, I literally thought the tag was another word.
Yeah, that's really good. So we want to appreciate the time that you took out. So thank you so much for being here with us and taking this interview with us and taking time out of your really busy schedule to meet with us. And we really hope that your journey in the music world is successful and you have a great impact and influence on the students that are aspiring, and you let them understand that success is not just from just not doing anything. It's from passion, determination. So thank you so much for being here.
Appreciate that, and thank you guys for interviewing me. That was blessed.
Amazing.
Shout out North Park.
Hello. Oh my God, that was such an incredible live event, Spitty. We are so grateful. And thank you so much to Arna and Anushka, our grade 10 students from North Park Secondary School. So this was our live event for Hindu Heritage Month. Thank you so much, Peel Fam, for tuning in. To all of the educators watching, we will be uploading the recording sometime in the next couple of days, maybe next Monday or something like that. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And to everybody else watching, again, thank you so much for being here. All of the gratitude, and have a good rest of your day. Bye. Okay, so this is some bonus footage for anyone tuning into the live recording for the Hindu Heritage Month Spitty live event. So Spitty's gonna be going and doing a walk down memory lane, and he's gonna be walking around North Park Secondary School, where he went to high school, and kind of be like gonna be showing us all of the hotspots where he used to hang out. So that should be fun. So come along for the ride.
So welcome back to North Park Spitty. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
So we're gonna take a little walk down in the school, and you can talk about like your memories or like the favorite times you had here.
Okay, cool. Sounds fun. Let's do it.
So, Spitty, how does it feel to be back at North Park after graduating?
It feels pretty good, honestly. It feels like a full circle moment, you know? Like, actually, what's interesting is my grandma does like her Sunday service here every Sunday. So like, I actually come here every Sunday to pick her up, but I never come inside. So it's cool to have that inside perspective. And like Commons, you know, it's the iconic spot. I used to take the school bus to school, so it'd bring us here early, and we used to sit right here on these steps, just chilling until 8:30 when the bell would ring, you know? So that's a life, you know? All this art's new though, so that's pretty cool. Like this Jimmy Dean quote and this like giant Viking boat, that's pretty fresh. So it's cool to see the changes, but see that a lot of it's still the same, you know?
So Spitty, we're here in the cafeteria, as you can see. So what were like your favorite times hanging out here?
Yeah, I mean, back when I went to North Park, we used to have like 2 lunches, third, fourth lunch. So whatever lunch you ended up in, that really determined like who your friend group was for that whole semester pretty much. And like when I was in North Park, I was in IBT, and like half of IBT in my grade used to like hang out together, you know, like 1, 2, 3 tables. So like this whole back area was just like ours, and the microwaves were here, and the vending machines, and then that door opens to like the food area, right? The caf. Yeah, so like this was just a spot to be, you know, people would always be coming in and out, and we would just be hanging here, and I wouldn't even sit low-key. I would just like stand and like walk around the 3 tables, just like holding my lunch in my hand. This was definitely a spot, and then we would go outside to like the courtyard or like play we played like soccer in the tennis courts, like on the field and stuff. That was mainly lunchtime, and then in the mornings, definitely the commons, you know, those are like the spots to chill. Yes, this is it. Right here. Used to be right here.
Oh, Spitty, why are we standing here?
Okay, well, actually my locker used to be like right here, and then it got replaced by this sturdy bench. So let me just take a seat. Yeah, okay. But I heard it's because like you guys only have 1 lunch now, right? So like there's not enough space in the caf for everyone, so they have to get rid of some of these lockers. Back when I went to North Park, like we were banned from the hallways at lunchtime. Like you couldn't be in the halls, you had to be in the caf or the commons or like somewhere outside, right? So now it's like different. It's interesting, you know, but we used to hang out here all the time, like between classes and stuff. And this was my first homeroom class, like when I was in grade 9 business. Mr. Sharma, I actually saw him in the hall earlier. I don't think he remembers me anymore, but this is my homeroom. So this is my grade 9 locker. And then somehow like all my friends also started bringing their lockers here. So in grade 10, 11, 12, we just sort of held this area down, and then, you know, like after school would be the place to just hang out and talk and chill before you have to go home, or in the morning when you're getting your books between classes and stuff. It was a vibe. So it's sad to see it as a bench now, but also these lockers are all really bland. They used to be like really nice colors, but the cream is, I don't know, it's modern, I guess. It's like off-white. It's cool. We'll take it.
So that's the 2013.
Yeah, 2013. And Patel,
Like a lineup to tell.
bam, right here. No facial hair, shorter hair.
You look a lot different.
Look a lot different. Hopefully it's not a diss. Better now, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, you know, still keep in touch with a lot of these people actually. Like my boy Nisarg, I was referencing him in the interview, me, him, and my boy Mohammed. We made that financially literacy, my first rap video ever, you know, to get us $500. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, a lot of Patels. we used to do the, what's it called? The honor roll, and it would always be like a game, like who's gonna win, the Patels or the Singhs? It was always a battle, like who's gonna have more in the honor roll. I think by the end we were getting there, but you know, some of these guys, Pujin, always holding this down, bro. Shout out Pujin. Yeah, man, just a lot of faces. A lot of these people are getting married now and stuff, and even some of them have kids. My boy Chris Wu right here. I knew that because he's Wu, he's the last one. He has a kid this year, so it's like, it's crazy, you know, 2013, 10 years, been a long time, but it's cool, man. And a lot of these hairstyles, you know, kind of outdated, and eyebrows a little too thin, but it's cool, it's cool, it's cool, cool blast from the past for sure. Cool blast from the past.
So, Spitty, we're in the library over here. So, do you see any changes, or like what type of books do you like to read, and like did you study here?
What type of books do I like to read? I like to read when I was in high school, more like fiction stuff. Now I read more like self-help books and like science books and stuff. But low-key, when I was in high school, I didn't come to the library that much. I actually have a memory of like, it was like the second day, and like the friends I made on the bus, they wanted to go to the library at lunchtime, and I was like, this is not what I'm trying to do in high school, spend my lunches studying, when we didn't even have anything to study for. So I was like, I made new friends and we would play sports instead, and that was that. But the library looks a lot different. Like there used to be like way more bookshelves and more books, and now it's cool, it's more modern. There's like more space to study, and like that whole section looks epic. Like it's got its own section, and even where we did the interviews in the library too, and that, like I never saw that before. So it's pretty advanced, and there's like a security system, like looks like more intense than the airport to get into the library. So it's pretty cool. Like must be some important stuff in here. I guess knowledge is power. So you know, shout out the library. Where did I study though? I mostly studied at home because I took the IBT bus. Like I had to leave right after school ended or whatever. So I was used to just studying at home and stuff. And in university, I studied more at libraries. But in high school, I kind of was like, that wasn't cool. But I grew into it, you know. And the library is a good place though to like work on group projects. That's why I would say I spent a lot of time doing at library, was like working with people when I had group projects. So shout out to the library, huh?
So now, Spitty, we're out in the courtyard. What kind of memories do you have here?
Honestly, the trees were a lot taller, like they got cut down, and I was just saying this before, but there was like a duck that started living like under one of the trees, and like when you try to go from, you know, the music side to like the gym side, the duck would just attack you, you know? So I think that's the reason they cut the trees down. So RIP the trees, but we used to mainly just chill here, like under the trees and stuff. There was benches, and we would just like hang out, and you know, it was like a lunchtime spot, or you just like come after school or whatever and hang out. It was a good vibe, and like it was nice, you know. It's a good place to be like closer to school, but you're getting the outside vibe, get some fresh air. Other than that, you know, it's pretty calm. I actually had a friend named Rohan. He was like a wild like outdoorsman, and like he used to like climb the tree that was here, and they were big trees, like 20-foot trees. So sometimes you would just be like sitting like on the bottom, and like you look up and there's just like a guy in the tree, and you're like, what the? So shout out Rohan. He used to do some wild stuff, and yeah, that's my best memory of the courtyard, I think.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, and I really hope you enjoyed your walk down memory lane. And
Yeah.
I hope you were able to revive all your old memories
Yeah.
with your friends, and you saw your grad photo. So I hope you were happy with that.
Yeah, it looked decent.
So we really hope that you're thankful that you were able to give us opportunity to interview you, and you know, kind of recognize your contributions to the South Asian community with your music.
Nah, I appreciate you guys. That was a great interview and great walk down memory lane. Honestly, felt really like nostalgic, you know, so it's good to be back, and hopefully come back many more times to North Park. Yeah, shout out North Park, go Vikings, bang.